Hello and welcome to Foundation Nation. I'm your host, Matthew Cote. Along with Daniel, we're both high school educated, masters of nothing, and gifted with a knowledge of, well, a lot. Today on the podcast, we're going to talk about some interesting recent goings-ons in our beautiful state, and maybe even a few things going on in this amazing round thing we call home. Hey, hello, I'm Matthew Cote, host of Foundation Nation, along with my co-host, Daniel.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, you made it. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things that's going on interesting in Washington, along with the whole round world. So what's been going on? I mean, so you're watching the news. What are you seeing?
I have seen a lot of things, but some of them are kind of caught my attention.
What's kind of piquing your...
The biggest one, I would say, is a hurricane that hit Florida.
Yeah. Don't buy cars from there?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Why is there mud in my glove box?
No, it's not going to be mud, but it's going to be a very cheap car that was very expensive.
It's all like steamy and moist inside.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is quite a bit of a damage happened to Florida coast.
Yeah.
So, but our government looks like they got a hang on it, and they're helping people as much as they can.
Yeah, I mean it's super scary to, in Washington it's really, mild, so we don't have a lot of any of the big stuff, right? We just have really earthquakes, but we don't have like any kind of, I guess we could have a tsunami.
We have been fortunate with unique weather and location.
Yeah.
It's just because we are here, it's one of a kind on a planet.
Yeah. That's why I think, like when we were at the Puyallup Fair or the Washington State Fair, did you go to it this year? Did you make it?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
It's just as you get down towards that way, but even now the smoke is bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. However, Scream, for example, they have very nice weather throughout the year, and even with all of this smoke, they got nothing.
It's all blowing by.
They are located in such a place.
There's no smoke.
It's perfect retirement place.
Yeah, retirement is good. You get a house with
very
no smoke.
Quiet, very sunshiny.
Well, it never used to be. It never used to be like that around Washington. It was always crystal, like the blue was like crystal, and there was no everywhere you could get in 25 minutes. Now you can't even get to the gas station in 25 minutes. What was it like where you grew up? Like the
20,
weather.
20 years ago it was like 50 sunny days.
Yeah.
And the rest is rain.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Apparently we are getting like really, really good weather lately.
Yeah. The heat is really adding up. I was in with some friends in Napa, the Napa Valley winery area. And they were saying that 2017 was the best wine ever created in the history of wine. And because they had a bunch of fires during the COVID time, like 2020, a lot of the wineries weren't able to make wine because the smoke, it went into the grapes. Not the fire, the smoke went into the grapes.
Well, I would say they still should hold on to that wine, because it's going to be a one of a kind.
Yeah.
In about 10, 15 years, somebody is going to pay big money for that.
Well, yeah. Did you ever hear that wine that they found at Titanic in the barrels? Was it wine or rum or something? They found alcohol. I think it was wine. No, it was wine. They found, so when they went down and they got the Titanic and everything, and they discovered it sunk and all that, they actually found bottles of wine unopened, perfectly, like they were, how wine had to sit and it gets better and better, and it was all perfect.
Yeah, absolutely no fresh air.
No fresh air, yeah. So it just sits there and gets angry. Yeah. So what's been going on in your life in Washington State? What have you been seeing? What's been sticking out?
Well, with a recent push for clean energy and everything, it seems like our state is mm, on the front line
Yeah.
about this technology. It's besides all of the uh, wind turbines and solar power,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they're also developing new transportation. Like mm, recently, they launched a fully electric plane at Moses Lake.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
uh,
forgot about that.
and I mean everything is cool, and they are actually planning to move to certification in a couple of years.
Uh-huh. Like a
Yeah,
drone or like a plane with
no,
people?
no, it's actually a plane, and they are already planning to make a regular version, like
Mm-hmm.
a executive version,
Mm-hmm.
and a cargo plane. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
An
and
electric cargo plane.
they're saying it is all real, and it's going to be interesting to see how this technology pans out. And there are some limitations to the battery powered uh, plane, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're saying they have a solution, but
To make it
uh,
happen.
to actually make it usable, because there are obvious constraints about can you refuel batteries in no time,
Oh,
or whatever. I mean, yeah, it can fly for 2 or 3 hours.
right.
However, how long will it take to refuel?
Oh, sure. Well,
Yeah.
cover the whole skin with like solar panels. It could just fly forever.
Yep. But the test pilot who flew the plane, he said it behaves exactly as it's supposed to.
Mm.
It did not do any nosedive or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was weighted perfectly,
Mm-hmm.
and took off and landed exactly the way he thought it should.
That's
So
cool.
that means that whatever they did to the plane did not affect its flying abilities,
Mm-hmm.
and it means that all they have to do now is improve electric portion of it, and it should be good.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm excited. I think Washington State's onto something. I mean, I think everybody's, in the state is really aware of, in our state, is really aware of the things that we need to like make, Washington's always been kind of a little edgy, as far as like, Boeing and Microsoft and Amazon. So they've all, the state's always been very like advanced technology wise, and stuff.
Yep. Yep.
And I think it's kind of cool if we could lead the way. We have Blue Origin here too, which I mean, they make rockets, but they could, change their mind and make planes, I guess.
Well, the fact that they created that rocket means they already possess so much technology
Mm-hmm.
that went into it
Mm-hmm.
that they can use elsewhere,
Mm-hmm.
just to improve whatever they can improve.
Yeah. Well, and those people work there and then they get a new job and work there. And
Yep.
there's all this
Yep.
cross training and,
Mhm.
you get
Mhm.
really good training and you get somebody that's really excited about an electric plane or whatever.
Yeah, no, new materials, new everything. I mean, there is a lot of potential.
Are you wanting to get an electric car? Do you have any interest?
I am actually interested in getting a plug-in hybrid, not fully electric. Fully electric, I am a little concerned about refueling time, but plug-in electric,
Uh-huh.
I think it's a much more flexible system.
Yeah.
And if you are commuting not far,
Mm-hmm.
you will always be driving an electrical, but with a potential to use gas.
What kind of distance do those things get for like a gallon of gas?
For a gallon of gas, it's a gasoline engine. However, with electric battery, they get anywhere between 27 to 40 miles
Wow.
on one charge. So if your regular commute is less than 20 miles,
Mm-hmm.
and it means that you will never have to refuel. So
Well,
the same thing, but with if your battery dies, then you just
switch it over.
switch to
Yeah.
gasoline and make your way home
Yeah.
and recharge it again. So
Yeah.
I think that is a better. This is a better alternative.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I ordered one of those Rivians, the SUV, and They don't even send you an up. It's all electric SUV, you know.
That thing is a monster.
Is it?
Yeah,
It looked fine to me.
it's
I'm excited about
no, it's got like 900 horsepower or something.
Nice. And well, I didn't know that. I just ordered it because it looked cool.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, pretty color. I'll take one.
that truck actually can beat any
It like
mass production sports car.
it like blow 'em, like a Porsche away.
Oh yeah,
That's
just
funny. Gone.
like 3.5 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
Quarter
Yeah.
mile.
Man, I tell you, it's like our IT guy, he gave me a ride, and Jay, he gave me a ride in his new Tesla. Did you know he got one?
Blade? Did the steering wheel look like a butterfly or something?
I don't remember, but he put it in ludicrous mode,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "It means crazy or in electric." And zoom, just it pushes you in the seat.
Yep.
You kind of like have to use energy to lean forward, like not energy but muscle. You got to use your muscles to lean forward. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, they made recently, like a year or two ago, they released that Tesla Plaid,
Uh-huh.
and that one they still haven't unlocked his true potential because there are no tires that can actually sustain this much torque.
That's
Yep.
funny.
Yep,
That's
and
funny.
they limited it to 2 seconds per quarter mile.
Because the tires will just explode.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
So they made a car faster than tires can go.
Uh-huh.
That's hilarious.
Like pretty much the fastest car in the world
Wow.
for quarter
That's
mile.
funny. For quarter mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back when my dad was a kid, they were 10-second, a 10-second quarter mile car was a big deal back then. That was kind of like the creme de la creme. Everybody wanted a 10-second car,
Oh yeah.
and it was a big deal to go from 12 seconds to 10 seconds.
And it is still a big deal
Yeah.
now if you get a mass production car that can go 10 seconds quarter mile. That's a good car.
That's a good car. Yeah. You can get around a school bus with that.
Yeah.
So what else? Let's see what else we got. So we got hurricane. We got So I was reading this one here. North Dakota woman facing criminal charges after a rabies exposure, because she brought a raccoon into the bar. Did you read about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. It's
What the hell?
kind of vague, weird story.
Pet raccoon.
Yeah, looks like a lady decided to save a raccoon who was like sick and hungry and everything.
Okay.
And instead of just giving him some food, she decided to look after him until he gets better.
Right.
But the problem appeared that there is a law in that state that you cannot pet wild animals.
You can't pet wild animals?
No, you cannot keep them. You cannot keep them in
Oh,
your
you
house.
can't keep them in your house.
Yeah. You
Like an
can,
alligator. You can't have a pet alligator.
No, you cannot just go to the wild, get yourself an animal,
Uh-huh.
and
Bring it into your house.
Bring it into your house. Yeah.
Because the shit will bite you.
One of the reasons is that you never know what kind of diseases they have, and if they bite you, they may you may get sick, and since you got sick, you can pretty much spread it everywhere
Right.
because it takes time to actually get sick.
Yeah.
And you will become contagious for a while, and this is how
The crazy stuff happens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You know what I heard? I don't even know if this is true, but I heard this one time long ago. Somebody told me about rabies. So if you get rabies, you get it however I don't know all the ways you can get it, but I guess maybe from a bite. You get rabies. If you have it too long, it's uncurable. Have you ever heard that?
No.
It
but
makes pressure in your brain and you go crazy. And that's how they came up with the whole idea of like zombies and stuff. Cause that's what happens to you. It like pressurizes your brain, like puts pressure in the fluid and then you just go crazy. And that's what I heard was that's where the idea of zombies came from rabies, because you have it for too long and no cure. Rabies.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I thought
Uh,
it was could
yeah,
be total bullshit, but I mean, I don't know.
yeah. On the other side, the police who came to her house to collect a raccoon, they did not care about her being sick. They cared about raccoon and cared about all the people who were potentially endangered by that raccoon. It
Were
was
they
kind
nice to the raccoon, or they just like,
no. They gave him an injection, so he's no
oh,
longer with us,
oh, okay.
unfortunately.
Rest in peace, my friend.
Yep. But they did test him, and there was nothing.
Oh, so
No,
he
no,
didn't have anything,
no, he didn't have anything.
but
So
they were scared.
yeah. Government actually made a pretty big deal out of it. On the other hand, I do understand their position. I mean, there is a potential for this, especially with all that COVID stuff.
Right. Wild animals are supposed to be, well, raccoons eat, I think they'll eat garbage, so what we don't want, they'll eat.
Well, in general, the right course of action would be maybe pick him up, put him in a cage, and bring him to the animal shelter.
Oh, okay.
And this way,
just like see if he's okay and then let him
see
go.
if he's okay and let him go, or they may do something about it, but they would do it in a right way.
Yeah. Well, I've heard in the news before, if like a bear, no, not a bear, if like a mountain lion or a cougar is just sighted by like a school or by people, they'll relocate them. And if they have to relocate them more than one or two times, then they'll just kill them.
Well,
we're in their house. That's not fair.
The thing is, these are protected animals.
Yeah.
Because cougars, they are not multiplying at the rate that mice can.
Yeah.
However, on the other hand, if a cougar got used to people,
yeah,
that is a problem.
Eating the cat food.
Yep. And that is a problem, and then they actually get rid of him.
Yeah, because they don't know how to live in the normal world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that is unfortunate.
Yeah, and people are just destroying this planet.
Well, let's hope that there are not that many of them.
Yeah.
I still want to live in a nice environment here.
Yeah. Have you been anywhere that's nicer than Washington? And I mean Washington, and like in the summer when it's like 75 and the weather's good.
Oh, there is actually nicer place, I would say, is Hawaii.
Hawaii, where like what island?
So we went on a big island.
Yeah.
This island amazingly has like 4 or 5 climate zones.
What do you mean?
On one island, like there is a zone with dry weather.
Okay.
You can see it. Then there is a rainforest.
A rainforest?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it rains all the time, and then you can go up in the mountains, and there is a like really cold weather.
Oh, okay.
And you can actually drive all the way above the clouds.
Drive above the clouds?
I mean, you can get on the mountain where space observational stations are.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. And they are.
Did you go in one of those?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you got to tell me about that. So what was that?
It was a while ago, but we drove all the way up there, waited until it was dark, and we had a really nice discussion with one of the
an astronomer or
one of the astronomers. Yep.
Uh-huh.
They showed us all the constellations and stuff.
What'd you see?
I don't really remember.
Did you look through the tube or through?
No. They used just a laser pointer.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, all the stars were visible.
Like really strong.
Like really strong, because Hawaii is located in such a place where you can see a lot.
Uh-huh.
It's just close to equator.
Mm-hmm.
And sky is always clear.
What's the big galaxy that's like this, like a swirl, and you can see like a whole nother galaxy? Did you see that?
No,
You know what I'm
no.
thinking of? Milky Way. Did you see that?
No, we weren't.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like a pancake and then swirls and swirls. Yeah.
No, they didn't give us an opportunity to look close-ups.
Oh yeah.
No. Just look on the night sky and enjoy the view.
Do you have that? Have you ever used that app on your phone and you hold it up and it shows you what you see in the sky? Have you ever use that?
No, I haven't. But I do need to try it.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So just the other day when we were in Napa, there was a really bright star real close to the moon. Really close, like super bright. Like it was very small but super bright. I'd hold the phone up to it and it was Jupiter. If you look at the moon, it was like 3 inches away to the right of the moon. It was Jupiter. And I was like, it was super bright and really cool. And I guess, yeah, that makes sense. You go to Hawaii, you get to see things you don't get to see. And where were you during the eclipse here? What did you do? Were you on the roof with us? Remember when we had the eclipse here? Like 4 years ago, remember? It made everything dark here. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Where were you? Were you on the roof?
No.
Okay. So I was up on the roof at the other building, over on the other side of the airport. I was up on the roof there and we couldn't find the glass, the glasses. We couldn't find the glasses. So me and the boys used a mirror and looked backwards, used a mirror and just watched it like a movie. Cause you see the sun, you see the moon. Well, we couldn't really see the moon. We just saw, all you saw was the sun, but then all of a sudden on the side, you see like a shadow growing onto the sun. And then it just kept growing and growing and growing. And then it just went black. And then we turned around and looked at it and it was totally black and you couldn't really see it. But then when it started moving off, just for a second, like maybe 2 seconds, you could see like a 3/4 of a ring of the sun around the moon. Super cool. Super cool. I want to go, you know what I want to do in November? They rescheduled. So you know how SpaceX is trying to fly to the moon and everything? Well, the rocket that they're using is called the Falcon Heavy.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. Anyway, it's the same rocket, the biggest rocket ever made. This is the biggest, like thickest, tallest, biggest everything ever made in the history of humans. I mean, even blew the Russian stuff away, And so I think it was the Atlas V was the biggest rocket ever made. This one's like makes it look like a little midget rocket. So they rescheduled it a few different times. It's supposed to be launched in November, and it's the same one they're going to send people to Mars.
Oh,
that'd be fun to watch, right?
Yeah.
You guys
should take
should
a look on this.
Yeah, right. If I get that figured out, the problem is you spend all these monies to get there, and they're like, no, there's a cloud over there, cancel. That's how it goes. I mean, you literally you could camp out for a whole month, and it could never go off. You never know. So you take your whole family, and it's a really tricky thing to watch because they cancel them all the time because of the weather over there.
Yeah, so, and they really want it to be a perfect launch.
Yeah. I think weather plays a big role in crashes or not launching accurately.
Weather and sometimes they just discover that there is some sort of a screw that potentially got loose.
Yeah,
and they have to disassemble the entire rocket to take a look on it.
Yeah, and and it's one Phillips screw is slightly loose.
Yes,
if you look hard enough to anything that is man-made, it's all wrong. Would you agree that everything that we do as humans can be done another way? Everything, like the most perfect thing that we could do could be done another way.
Oh, absolutely. I even know a couple of ways. However, there is so much we don't know about technology and everything. Yeah. I'm just starting to uncover all of that stuff.
What's something that's blown your mind in the last few year?
Well, some people are starting to really discover the technology around the world. I mean, not technology, but examples of technology that cannot be recreated with the present science.
Give me an
Something
example.
they found a bowl that is like a, I do not know, 10, 15 feet in diameter and made out of granite. And it is so precisely made
Right.
on the outside and on the inside, polished and everything, that present technology cannot replicate it.
So what do they think?
I do not know what to think. I'm just thinking that there is so much we don't know that
See,
the
now,
possibility of a different way of life is definitely on the table.
yeah, no, for real. I mean, you know, but then the difference between me and you is you're like, holy shit, there's aliens. Do you know what I was thinking about was I read, where's the Michelangelo painting on the ceiling? Where's that located? It's Sistine Chapel. Sistine Chapel, you know, where he painted the fresco on the ceiling upside down, and it was one of his achievements. And anyway, when they originally did that job, the king or queen or the government or whoever's in charge of like building that, they got bids. Just like a normal company, they got bids from this guy and from this guy and from this guy. Who's going to paint it and for how much money and how long will it take? And each one of them came in and they gave their presentation. Very complicated presentation. Like one of the competitors brought in an actual like example, like not carving, but like a model. Like this is what it looks like. This is what it was amazing. It was amazing. That's actually there. They have the competitor stuff there. And Michelangelo didn't bring shit in. You know what he brought? You know what he did? He came in and he sat down in front of the king and queen or whoever was in charge. I don't know who was in charge. And he asked for a piece of paper and he asked for a pencil. And they brought him a piece of paper, they brought him a pencil. He got down on the ground, hands and knees, and he drew a circle. That's it. And then he goes, my presentation's complete. And he left. And they're like, okay, this guy's an idiot. And what they found out was the circle was perfect in all they still have it. You go to the Sistine Chapel, it's right there. It's about this big, you know, like it's some hand piece, you know, ripped piece of paper, but it's just crazy. You know, kind of like Michael Jordan shooting free throw shots with his eyes closed, you know. Have you ever seen those kind of things? And, you know, when people are so amazing and so many levels past us, this guy just draws a circle.
Well,
I always
it
thought
is
that was
pretty much
amazing.
impossible to draw a circle.
I mean, think about it. You could draw 10 million circles. You probably none of them would be accurate. Because our arm doesn't even go in a circle.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a
something.
very precise muscle coordination.
Yeah. Well, he invented stuff. He was a sculptor. He was a painter. I mean, these are his things. And I think he liked chicks too, you know. I think he was good with his hands.
Oh yeah.
You know. So that always blew me away was that, you know, like very, very, you know, strange, odd, interesting kind of like you know, you go to the Sistine Chapel and you're like, okay, let's look at this. You know, it's supposed to be like amazing and pretty and all this stuff. And that's what stuck in my mind, not the, like I saw the Mona Lisa. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
It's a teensy.
Oh, it's a painting.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, it's a teensy.
Oh.
So
most thing that amazes me about the past is how the heck did they build it?
Right.
I'm just thinking about it and I'm like, you really had to think very technologically.
Oh yeah.
To make it happen.
Yeah.
And it was just sticks and whatever.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, and then have you ever seen or heard or read about like Roman bridges and they have those keystones? You know, so the whole bridge doesn't stay up without that final stone in. How the hell did they do that over a river? Because I could see if it was over nothing, and then you just pile up dirt and make a curve, and stack it, and then shove that, and then clean it all out. But this is a raging, massive, giant river that they built these canals over. How do they do this? So that guy, I wanted to be that guy. Slide that keystone. Yeah, it's good. It's okay. It's good. So what's your job? Well, I make keystones. That's it. The one rock that keeps it all together, I always thought that was kind of fun. So, okay, well, this is the beginning of our new series with just the two of us. Just the two of us. You have any thoughts moving forward? What do you want to talk about next week?
I don't know. I would say probably let's touch up with history.
Yeah, history. Yeah. You know what I'm thinking? I haven't been following with the whole Russia-Ukraine stuff. I just wanted to talk about the bridge that got blown up and what kind of bridge that was recent. Because, bridges are hard to blow up. I know it's strategic where you could, go around and blowing up bridges, but I was just more interested in what does it take to blow up a bridge? Because I go under those bridges over there by Seattle and I-5, and I look at these things and I'm like, you could fly a plane into this. It'd probably just burn.
The bridges are designed specifically not to break.
Yeah.
However, if you know your stuff, you can actually break whatever you want to break. And that one was definitely researched.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't just
randomness.
Random. It was specifically placed, located, and timed, and everything.
So, okay. So they researched it. So they took a picture of it and they studied where to put it. And okay.
Yeah.
Because I was under the impression, watching the news, it was more random.
No, it wasn't random. It takes a lot of dedication to make it happen. A lot of dedication.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm excited about next week, man. This is going to be cool. I like that. That was fun. All right. First episode completed. Thank you for joining the Foundation Nation, proudly sponsored by Pentec, the industry leader of floor coatings. You can find us anywhere you get podcasts. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode, and if you have any comments or suggestions on future topics, just let us know at foundationnation.com. So join us next time, and thank you.